Hey Zoo family, welcome to the last day of our vacation, but don't fret, we are going to have a fun day planned ahead. We are at Jamestown Settlement, the first colony in America, and my ancestors were actually here. We're here to learn about that today and to teach the kids about it too. So we just got here and we found an amazing lady to talk to. She knows her stuff. Part of the reason we're here today is we're researching my ancestry. We told her about a 10th great grandfather of mine who was possibly here, and how the story goes that he came to America in 1609 when he was only 9 or 10 years old. That's Caleb's age. So imagine Caleb by himself getting on a ship and without any guidance other than someone who was given guardianship over him, not a parent. He didn't come with any other Chandlers. He got on a ship called the Hercules and he came to Jamestown when he was a child by himself. That's the story I've been told. That's what I've looked up through Ancestry.com and through the Chandler Family Association. And then we come in here this morning and we look up in this book called the Jamestown Ancestors, and I want you to see this. Look whose name is there. John Chandler, 1609. Burgess. What was a Burgess? He was a Burgess. We found him in another book that talks about the land he owned in Norfolk. A Burgess is a person with municipal authority or privileges in particular, an inhabitant of a town or borough with full rights of citizenship, a member of parliament for a borough. So I really want to know how he went from being potentially an orphan in England all the way to being a landowner and a Burgess in his county, a prominent figure of society. It's got to be an amazing story. He was either an orphan in England or he could have been the third son of a family. Often the first son got all of the inheritance, the second son would get something, and then the third son sometimes got nothing and would have to venture out on his own to make his own way. And it wasn't uncommon that a child as young as 9 or 10 set out on his own. Melanie found something. Look at this.
When he was an indentured servant to Thomas,
oh my gosh, we found it. This is the story. He's an ancient planter. He came to Virginia in 1609. By August 1632, Chandler had gained his freedom and was leasing some land that bordered the Back River in Elizabeth City. Chandler patented 1,000 acres on the west side of Harris Creek in Elizabeth City. We could go to where he was.
That's crazy.
We could go there today. By August 1646, he had acquired acreage in the lower side of the James River. He moved there and began serving as a justice of the Lower Folk County's monthly court. He becomes a Burgess. I'm gonna keep reading this. I'm not gonna keep doing this on video, but this is amazing. I've never known this stuff. It was always just a few dates and a story, and now the story didn't make sense because why would a child come here alone? But the people here in this book are validating what we know, which is he came here as a child. Can you imagine Caleb getting on a ship and going to the New World at his age and becoming an indentured servant to someone? Once he worked off the debt, he was a free man in the colonies, and he didn't stop there. He's one of the Jamestown ancestors. I didn't have to flip but 8 pages into this book before we found him. The following list made up of those who are known to have come to Virginia before the close of the year 1616, survived the massacre, appear in the muster of 1624 as when living in Virginia, and to whom the designation of ancient planter may with justification be applied. Wow.
It's crazy. He's
one of the first Americans ever. I've got another book here. We don't see him in it yet, but look how thick this is. He's got to be in there somewhere, right? The museum here at Jamestown is unbelievable. It's so comprehensive. And this is just for the 1607 era. They have so much that you can go around and read and see, and artifacts and stuff from every single era. You're not allowed to video in here? Oops. Okay, I'm not filming anything in here, but I'm gonna film myself. This is too important not to. What happened is in 1607, the original settlers came to Jamestown. They were not doing well. They couldn't get food. They came too late in the spring to plant their own crops. So 2 years later in 1609 is when reinforcements came in, and among those reinforcements was my 10th great grandfather. So they were coming in to bring supplies and all sorts of stuff to try and alleviate the problems. I keep seeing the year 1609 everywhere I look, and I'm looking for little bits of information, something that would tell me more, like what's the parts of the story we need to fill in here. So just like back in Plymouth, they have a Native American village set up here.
This looks
just like Plymouth.
Isn't that interesting? Yep. They said that the Native Americans who lived in this area of America at the time all spoke a common language, and because of that they traded ideas. Obviously they traded engineering styles. Their homes look identical. You would think they were like the same actual tribe. Grinding corn? How would you like to have to do that? Whoa, did you hear that, Katie? He's making bird calls? Yeah, wait, not too hard. Okay, make us our dinner, Tim. Make us our dinner.
I did.
You can't?
You throw the darts through the hoops.
Through the darts through the hoops. There you go. Now try backing up and doing it.
What?
Everyone take a turn. Poor Logan. You okay, Log? Oh my goodness. How amazing is this? Holy cow. Oh my goodness, I get chills thinking about John Chandler on a little ship like this. Going across the ocean. Huh? Yeah, you did see it on the map.
Oh no, we're gonna
We're so high. No, we're not gonna fall. This is the biggest? Wow, look how little those are. Look how little that guy is. Can you imagine being on the ocean in that? Oh my goodness.
How small these bugs are, man.
Wow.
Where's the other one?
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine sleeping in this little area.
Look at the storage underneath.
I know, I see that. I saw that.
There are 4 beds.
Can you imagine? I know. Can you imagine, guys? These little beds wanting to stretch out. Oh, jeez. I knew I would do that.
This is where the 52 people would stay.
I know.
There's chickens here.
Oh, wow.
Chickens.
What do you think, Tim? Pretty cool.
I would want to live here.
You would want to? You would want to?
Yep.
Jeez, you're adventuresome.
Another bed. Oh, nice bed. I got him.
There's an even lower deck. Feel the boat moving? Pretty cool. So we talked to the lady and she said that the Hercules may have been twice this big. We'll have to do some research to find out about the ship, but I can't imagine my great-grandfather, a little boy on the lower decks, just bored, and if he was lucky, having checkers to play with, like my kids just did. Ooh.
I got him. Hi again.
Oh, look at the size of that anchor. That's the anchor, Caleb. See?
What?
That's an anchor.
Way too.
That's a big anchor in it.
Big old anchor, yeah.
It stopped the boats.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
And it stopped.
That's right. Exactly.
It grabbed with something.
Uh-huh. The bilge pump. We're here at the fort now. Yeah. What's a moat? Is that a moat there, Logan? Who can cross that? It's dead here because we're here on Sunday. There's almost no one here. They're barrels, not drums. One thing I can't imagine is living in this darkness. The camera makes it look way brighter than it actually is. It's very dark in here. It must have been so rough to live in darkness, only by candlelight for anything you wanted to do indoors. And candles would only burn 3 to 8 hours. Oh!
I just did it.
You didn't think it would move, did you?
No, I thought it was kind of like really heavy.
That's funny.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna give you this rag where you see like an orange spot, so like right here. So with the rag, yep, just scrub right on it. There you go. Just really scrub, and that is coming off. We've put the oil on, so that's helped beating that rust, and we're just kind of buffing out any of the surface rust. Let's say you're 10 to 14 years old, you might be a servant. So you could follow the soldiers around, carry their equipment, polish their equipment, help them clean it. And then by the time you're 18, you're going to know all about military tactics. How's it going, Timmy? You getting the rust out? There you go. And the good news is this helmet is very easy to clean. Do you guys do a lot of scrubbing at home?
Yeah, your chore is dishes, so Katie.
Okay.
Katie, yes. Oh yeah, and these two have the downstairs bathroom.
Oh wow. You guys clean the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, the two of them.
Start them young.
Everything a room.
That's right.
And Woody feed with me.
Yeah, you have bunk beds, right?
Yes.
I think some other children will help them do the rest.
Helping out.
Thank you very much.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
We will.
Firefighters, they talk about a company of firefighters. So sometimes they get big companies involved. Although in the early years, when they weren't under martial law, they did have problems with the politics.
Figgy pudding. Tastes kind of like Fig Newtons. Yeah. And then this is Banbury cakes. It has dessert. It has fruit in it, but sugar as well. That's in red wine. Red wine is not something they would have had to drink on a regular basis, not at the beginning, but they were drinking beer. These kids would have been drinking beer. Very low alcohol, because that's what they had. Or ale, or hard cider. That tiny little bit of alcohol in it would help keep it preserved, keep it from going bad. Whereas water, even in England, that could make them sick. So they weren't really drinking that much in the way of water.
So what did you guys think
It was
of everything today?
amazing.
Wasn't it? Can you imagine that your I can't even count it that many times, your 10th great grandfather was here? Isn't that amazing? He lived here.
Who's?
My 10th great grandfather, your 11th great grandfather, lived here when he was a little boy. His name was John Chandler, and he came from England, and he sailed on a ship and came all the way here.
Let's start with what was our favorite part?
Okay, good idea. What was your favorite part, Logan?
The picture of the knight and the guns.
Yeah? Caleb?
Hang on, I'm still thinking.
Katie, do you have a favorite part?
Yeah. Going to those ships.
The ships? I thought you'd say that. Timmy, what was your favorite part?
I think it was saw him in a helmet.
The swords and the helmets and the stuff?
Cleaning.
Yeah. Cleaning them, okay.
Helping them. Now I know. It's the biggest ship.
The biggest ship?
The Susan, what? Susan,
I forget.
The smallest ship was the Discovery, and the biggest ship was the Susan Constant.
Susan Constant? Okay, there you go. They all like that.
So I left Virginia and Jamestown, and we are in basically the middle of North Carolina, and it's getting already dark. And if you can't tell, somewhere between like Staten Island and somewhere, my allergies kicked in really bad. So I've been sneezing and coughing and crying. And
Anytime we go to a new region of America, something about that new region, the moment you get there, it's like crazy how it hits you. And then it was a reverse here. We went to Maine and our sinuses cleared up. I don't know if
there
it
was
just the
nothing on
cold.
the trees. There was nothing on the trees, so everything's falling now.
And it was just
Drives me
clear,
nuts.
clean air, probably.
Yep. So I have friends on Facebook that were like, "How do you keep your kids distracted for traveling so far?" And actually, they've been really, really good. I mean, they're still kids, so they still bicker and stuff. But the bickering has been basically to a minimal.
Pretty minimal.
One thing is for sure, like when Mike was growing up, he wasn't on the road for as long, so he'll get homesick way before me.
Way quicker than
Yeah.
Then
He was like, I enjoyed our trip, but I'm ready to be home. And I'm like, I could go for probably another week or two.
I'm so ready to be home. I miss our home.
Yeah, I got axe.
Oh, when you got an axe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got the bear sword because
Your little axes are
Loki
cute.
Bear, get it?
Yep, Logie Bear got a bear sword.
We'll have to show everybody your axes and swords and all that sometime after we get home. They got souvenirs.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, they got souvenirs. What kid doesn't want a souvenir like that? So the allergies are hitting me a little bit too. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. We pulled over to the side of the road, getting Cracker Barrel for dinner. Mom's she's not doing great. She's way worse than me. I'm feeling it too. I'm actually feeling the allergies, and it's making me drowsy and all this stuff. So we're gonna break our schedule, our plan, and we're gonna stay over here in the Clark's Inn in Santee, South Carolina. Santee? I don't know. Like it matters, like most of you, unless you live in South Carolina, you don't care. We're over here at the Clark's Inn soon here, and then we're gonna head back in the morning.
there. I know how to play checkers.
You guys ready to go to the hotel? So we're checked in. The living room's already converted. It's a sofa bed. We walk through here. There's a bathroom. Well, there's only one bathroom, but it's like the water closet on one side, sink and everything else on the other side. And then there's a room in here with 2 double beds. And kids are just using their last little bit of energy before the day is done. You got a joke for me, joke of the day. What's the joke of the day?
What do you call a movie of cow?
Wait a second. I think I've heard this one. What do you call a movie about a cow? I don't know. What do you call a movie about a cow?
A movie.
Oh, I think you stole it. I think she stole it from somebody. You can't steal jokes. You can't steal jokes.
Katie stole that from me.
I think she did. After a good night's rest, we arrived safely back home the next day. Tomorrow we celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Katie's Gotcha Day with an emotional look back. This is a video you will not want to miss. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and we'll see you tomorrow.